Hello, welcome to the dungeon. How is everyone? How's it going? I don't usually let my intro song play the whole way through, but I thought, why not? And it actually has a really nice bit at the end there. I actually let it play into the next track on the player there, but we'll ignore that. Yeah, it's coding and Calamity night. So we're gonna be doing streamer bot stuff, I guess. Gonna be pretty casual. I have one thing on my to-do list. I'm gonna make a death counter for a friend of mine who is gonna play Elden Ring. Their streamer called Ymir. They're a really cool guy, and yeah, that's basically the only thing on our to-do list. Really, I'm gonna talk about some of the other redeems that I made recently or over the holidays that I've basically added into the fold of stuff on my own stream. And as you can see in the chat currently, I'm making an ad alert for someone else. Yeah, it seems to be working. It worked perfectly well, I think. Yeah, was anyone here during the ad to confirm? I don't think so, but that's cool. That's cool. Okay. I guess we can just jump into it. I don't think I have any news. I covered all my over the holidays updates sort of yesterday on my first stream back. Schedule will continue to remain the same for now. Mondays gaming night, Tuesdays coding night, and Thursdays D&D stuff night. I at least have someone to talk to about setting up like on actual stream online D&D stuff in the future, and hopefully that'll get the ball rolling on other stuff. Basically, I have one volunteer for a player, I think. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, let's jump straight into it. Let's jump over to my old game space display here. Let's sit down in the corner so I'm out of the way. Yeah, and how do I display my desktop again? You know, when you're on a holiday for a little bit and you get back to work and you have no idea how your job works? That's kind of what we're doing here. Okay, I have it under a different scene. Is this one? Yeah, I think it is. And let's move some stuff around first. That's not what I want. Yeah. Desktop capture. We'll just capture the whole desktop. There shouldn't be anything too bad there. Okay, we have our browser up. I am, in fact, using GX Opera. It's just nifty. I like it. Okay, and then switch back to my current scene and turn off studio mode. There we go. I'm a streamer. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. I'm also pretty sure I set up like one clickable button that could have done all of that for me, but remembering to where I put that button and when to click it is a separate thing that we're working on. Okay, we want some background music as well. So let's bring up some music credits because we're just going to use game chops as per. I'll just play it straight off the YouTube on their website. What do they have for us? Island Broadcast. Hyrule Cafe. We go with Hyrule Cafe. That sounds nice. That sounds pleasant. Quickly show credits. There are your credits. Have a look at them. all available on game shops. Make game music for streaming. We appreciate them, we support them. I'm gonna turn it down a little so it doesn't blow my ears out. Nice. Maybe just a little lower. Just so it's barely in the background. That's good. Okay. And StreamerBot. Hello, StreamerBot. It's been a little while since you've been on stream. How have you been? What should we go over first? Let's see. I think just before the holidays, the last thing I did, the last big project I did was getting the TTS all set up here. So we have our little bean down here who reads out the actual messages. And we have Audrey over there who is our radio mimic. When there is sound coming through my browser input, which is where I play all my music from, we get a little musical effect, which I think is super cute. And when she has a TTS in the queue, she kind of hops around, which I also think is super cute. And there is quite a few little bits of code to actually make that work. That's all of this stuff. Let's quickly show you how much there is to it. Will I go through everything? It's based, well, I won't say it's based off, it uses a little bit of the settings that Bearded Ink created, but I wanted to do something very different with it. We get out Photoshop and do some doodles to explain, because I want to do this slightly more. New, just a blank page, please, and we'll make it big. We'll make that big, and we'll get, yeah. Okay, so when you redeem, I'm pretty sure there's two E's, but we'll ignore that. When you redeem your TTS, that will go into StreamerBot as a raw. So this is your TTS message that you send into StreamerBot. It's stored in your redeem as a raw, and then that is sent to, well, it's held in StreamerBot to be broadcast, so it is paused in the queue. This is paused, this isn't equals, it's paused, but it's also I can show you in my Discord just for moderation purposes. Here's the last message from Ymir that he put in yesterday into my stream. This is a hidden Discord channel. Only me and my Discord mods can see that. And that's basically for moderation. So if I miss a TTS that's gone in, if I don't see it in the chat, and it could be sus, just in case I want to check it out. We trust Ymir here. He is one of the mods. It'll go and be stored here for moderation purposes. Yeah. So I can have a read of it in my Discord if I miss it in the chat. If it all looks good and fine, then we can unpause it. Goes to Discord. DISCORD. Goes to Discord with a webhook. I'll explain that as well while we're here. We're going to take it easy tonight, so I can take my time going over stuff like this and going back and forth between the different apps and explaining little parts of it. So this is the raw input I mentioned. What it also gets is a number assigned to it. That's a little integer that we count up for each stream. So there was only one TTS that day, so this is number 1. This is a different day. I sent a second testing TTS. It automatically puts the date onto it, which is nice. Who said it? So this is not Ymir's Discord. This is actually Ymir's Twitch icon and Twitch name right here. So, you know, if I have to moderate something on Twitch, I have your name, your actual name. Not that this would ever come up, but I like to be safe. I like to have a little bit of control on the TTS queue for my safety, and I guess for you guys as well, so you don't have to hear anything appropriate just in case anyone tries to mess with it. But you do have to save up a few points, which means you have to watch the channel for a little while. So, you know, I think it's unlikely anyone will send inappropriate messages on the TTS, but, you know, I like to be safe. I'm looking out for you guys. That's what's happening. So then this is the raw input of the redeem of the TTS. That also works with commands. If you do, I don't have it on anymore, but when I was starting off, before I was an affiliate and I had redeems, I had a command for TTS, which was, I think, !say or !TTS, and then you put your message. So whatever was after the message, that would be the raw input in that case. It's really easy to switch out a command and a redeem like that. And it also takes the specific point in the stream, or the VOD in this case, and it'll link that as well. Super clever thing. I got that specifically from Bearded Ink's setup. So his one was you can ask a question, and then from when he's answering your question, you can check the VOD exactly where he answered your question. My one is just for moderation, just make sure everything's on the up and up and nice and safe. Also, when the message comes in, so it's paused, sends it to Discord. Audrey, her little counter there goes up by 1. AUDREY plus 1. Audrey's counter goes up by 1, and it's held in the queue. So we'll do this to the side here. Held in queue. I'm going to explain all of this out in drawing and text, so when I go through the code real quick, you guys will have an idea of what's happening. Held in queue. Q-U-E-U-E. You know, for being dyslexic, I'm not doing too bad tonight, I think. Right. Yeah. So this is basically your message. It's held. Audrey jigs back and forth with a little message with a little 1 on her chest because she has a message in. Then, when I hit my hotkey, so let's put a line there. I hit my hotkey, which I believe is the 0 on the number pad. I'm just going to say hotkey. Bum, bum, bum. Hey, what does that do? We are going to get our raw input, and we are going to send that to SpeakerBot. SpeakerBot. And what is SpeakerBot? That is this little app, and this is what actually plays the sound out. under settings, voice aliases, Beanbot. This is it. This is our little Beanbot's voice. So it's the Microsoft Zero desktop. It's like a default one. I have added Monster TTS since, but I haven't added the actual voices. But I do have other voices like that available. You can basically use any TTS you want and connect it to SpeakerBot, and that will basically play the sound. And when the sound is playing, this makes our little bean just to my bottom left here start speaking. So it has two frames. It has like a still frame and a mouth open frame. And when a sound inputs in OBS into a specific channel called bot, into OBS, because the sound goes from SpeakerBot to OBS. OBS has different channels that you can set the sound for. And basically, when sound... we'll split it up here. When the sound is off, how do we do a little speaker? Like that. When sound is off, we have our bean just sitting here. And when sound is on, it switches the little image here. Well, it actually puts an image on front of it of the same bean, same grizzly bean, with its little mouth open, and it just flicks between those two as the sound goes on and off, and that's all within OBS. And then after I've played it, after I've hit the hotkey, it's sent the raw to SpeakerBot. SpeakerBot has played the sound has gone to OBS. Our little bean in the corner here has talked. It does a check with Audrey, and then Audrey -1. Yeah. And this +1 and -1 is a separate number from this in our Discord that just keeps a total number per stream. I think that is everything I have to tell you before I can show you the actual code of how it works. Excuse me, pardon me, I am a pig. Okay. Where to start with this one then? TTS start setup. We'll go with that first. So when my stream starts, when I hit the go live button, basically, this trigger is pulled, and when an action trigger is pulled, it does all the stuff listed on a sub action. Simple as that. Trigger, fired, this is the bullet. This is the trigger, this is the bullet. Click, bang. What it does is it waits, I don't know, is that 10 seconds, 10,000 milliseconds? It waits a little bit. Then it fetches my URL for the current VOD, because in the background when you're streaming, Twitch is like straight away making the VOD. So it gives it a couple of seconds so it knows, the URL exists for it to find. That's why it gives it a couple of seconds. This is straight from Bearded Ink's TTS as well. He's got a great YouTube video on it, and it really helped me figure out like how to do little bits I wanted to do in my specific TTS setup that was different from his. Then we set up a little integer. Well, is it an integer? That's not the word I want. I'm having a Bailey's coffee. So my mind is a little bit slow. It sets up a string. That's what we want. A string is like a string of text. So it gives Twitch link is equal to, and then the Twitch URL that it's found. So it gets this Twitch URL, and then it keeps it in StreamerBot for us. And then it pauses the queue for TTS. Now, the TTS is set to always pause after I've played it once, but just in case, from the very start of the stream, it's paused. So this all happens within the first, like, 15 to 20 seconds of when I start a stream. This is all running. Let's stop playing. Continue playing. I don't know why that does that sometimes. YouTube or apps in my browser just stop playing sound. It can be really annoying. Okay, that is the startup. Okay, next we want to find the one for the redeem. It's not play. Okay. So the next step, you out there, user, you redeem a TTS. Can I show that? I guess I could bring up my own stream and show that. Yeah, give me a sec. Nope. Go to Twitch. And as soon as it loads, we'll turn off sound from Twitch, and we'll go to my own channel. And I can just... we'll pause it as well. And just go to redeems. It's way over in the corner. It's behind me. Windows, behave. Where is TTS? Yeah, TTS bot, 500 dungeon keys. So you claim that, you put in your message, and you hit chat. And that goes through because you have enough dungeon keys, I assume. And that message in here is your percentage, raw percentage. I know percentage, raw percentage would get a dirty joke from Ymir if he was here. Okay, so your redeem is sent in. That's it. Right, now, this is for my just chatting. There we go. There's my boy. It's like I summoned him. Oh, and he's put a TTS in as well.
Emer_ here says I'll give you a raw percentage.
I summoned you. I summoned you for the dirty joke. You were called for it. Okay. Right. You put in your redeem in... It's actually called in 2 different places. So this is all to do with the visibility of the little bean on my screen here. As I was saying before, my mind was spun. My summoning circle is puns, burgers, and nicotine, and tall, strong women that want to kill me. I'm not gonna say same, I'm just gonna say that much and leave it implied. Also move this over so it can actually be seen. Hey Ymir, it's basically StreamerBot night, so I'm going through how my TTS works real quick, and then we're gonna build you a death counter for Elden Ring. How's that sound? Okay. Ooh, fancy. It should be. I hope it is. It should be relatively simple, depending on what you want from it. Okay. So, finally getting to this. So your action, your trigger is a redeem. That brings in your, I don't want to say it now, percentage raw percent. I do use Streamlabs and not OBS though. That may be an issue. No, it shouldn't be an issue. This that I build my my redeems and everything through, it's called StreamerBot, and it works perfectly well beside everything, and you can actually connect it to your Streamlabs as well through one of these platforms, I think. No, Stream Apps. Might be Stream Apps. I'm not going to go into that at the moment. But yeah, it'll work perfectly well with Streamlabs, or essentially anything. It's connected to Twitch. I guess the output would go into Streamlabs, but that should work just fine. I just have to figure out something for that to get an output. No, it should work. Don't worry about it. I could even make it a web app, I think. I'm not distracted. You're distracted. Yeah, basically, I'll show it real quick, or will I? Yeah. Basically, you can see the bean is much lower down there. What happens is he ducks down, then another version of him will pop up to slightly higher, about where my chin is when I'm standing over here in the corner. He'll do his talking, and then when the message is completely done, he goes back down, and this little ducked down bean comes back up, and it's all beautiful and seamless. Oh, there's little me. Yes, this is a little plushie of Ymir, my streamer friend, my mod, my partner in crime. Mostly in crime. Yeah, you're a cute little plushie, aren't ya? Hey. Back over here. So this is all the code that essentially does that. But if you'll remember, I certainly don't, our queue is paused. So that means that even though you put in this redeem and you'd expect it to trigger all of these, and this is the actual speaking, like where it plays in SpeakerBot, where it sends the message to SpeakerBot, which then plays the sound, and then the sound goes into OBS, and then from OBS it goes out to Twitch to you guys. This is the specific part that hands the message to SpeakerBot to be read out. All the rest of this really is just visual stuff, and then it makes sure the queue is paused again at the end. Yeah, so none of this can trigger, or all of this triggers, but it can't play while the queue is paused. It just sits in the queue. All of these steps are just sitting in the queue ready to play, and that is what Audrey shows when she's doing her little jig. That's probably why she's doing a little jig. She's so full of sub-actions. That sounded weird. Never mind that. Then this is also powered by the redeem as well. So when the redeem comes in, it does a couple of other things. It gets the Twitch link. I showed that a little bit ago. What's this? We here at Rainbird Inc. do not support crime, murder, embezzlement, embezzlement, setting fire to people's left socks, or the worst crime of all, being on Twitter, unless it's very, very funny. It's also a very solid message. Thank you, Ymir. And Inc. I'm incorporated now. I thought I was a sole trader. Every action I take is a sub-action. Every action you take is made up of multiple sub-actions. Namiya, hello! Welcome to the chat. Couldn't hold that one in. Namiya, very glad you could make it. How are you? How's your night going? I am currently just going over how my TTS bot works and being very distracted by Ymir. Wrapping up work for the day. Nice. How was work? I hope it wasn't too stressful. Cool. Yeah. So I was kind of drawing it out, and I kind of went through the basics of it in text so I could explain how the code works. Distracted by moi, little old moi? Yes, by you, Ymir. I appreciate it though, you're a funny guy. Redeem has 2 E's. Basically, your redeem comes in for your TTS, and then it stores the text. I'm not saying that word at the moment because Ymir is here, and he keeps making fun of me and distracting me. The queue is paused. Audrey, who's my little radio mimic over there, that holds the queue, her little number on her belly goes up by 1. It sends the message to my Discord, so for moderation purposes, I can check it out, make sure it's not sus or anything, just in case I miss it in the chat. And that's all just held in the queue. Then I have a hotkey set up, and when I hit that hotkey, it sends the message to an application called SpeakerBot, which is this guy right here. This has the voice alias, so the text that you send in your redeem goes into this guy, into the Beanbot alias, and is read out by this voice, Microsoft Zira. It's one of the free ones that's built into your basically every Windows computer, I think. So SpeakerBot reads it out, essentially. That goes over to OBS. In OBS, I have this little green guy here. He's a grizzly bean. He is my mascot. And basically, when the sound is off, he looks like this. And when the sound is on, there's another version of him with his mouth open that basically pops up on front. And it just switches between the two, and it looks like he's talking. And that is when sound is 0, he is in this silent mode, and when sound is more than 0.1 decibels, I think, that's when his mouth opens. And then the number on Audrey goes down by 1. And Namiya, if you're still here, you'll notice there's an add incoming message that came up. That is something I am making for Dulcie, which is why it has that little face. How dare you call me a fun knee guy? My knees are private, you sicko. Yeah, but what about those ankles though, baby? Yeah, so I was basically talking through the code. We got the Twitch link earlier. Man, there's so many little bits to explain that I explained at the start, but I feel like I have to go back over now. When a message comes up in the TTS, this is actually the part that does that we're doing now. We have the number in the queue of how many have come in. We have... Oh, the ad started. Maybe we should just chill for a minute. That's a short enough ad. It's only 43 seconds. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow, bow. That did come in 2 minutes. That worked. Didn't give an alert that someone is ringing my phone at 9:45 on a Tuesday night. Someone better be dead. Who calls people on their phone at night? Who calls people on their phone full stop if it's not an emergency? What can't you text for There's no reason it can't be a free WhatsApp message. You should sue them if it's not an emergency. Okay, I think the ad is over. What I was saying is I'm going through the bit right here. Added to a text chain. I'm not distracted. Blah. Okay. So it gives each TTS every stream a number that counts up for each one that comes in. It tags it with the current date. Did another ad start straight away? That's starting now, or was that just a heads up earlier? Oh no. I'll go through it anyway. Sends the message, and it also links to the point in the VOD where the TTS came through. So if I clicked this now after the VOD, that should go to the point where Ymir sent this message in. And we can see all of that over here. There is the Twitch link, and that's to the current point where the redeem was sent in. Nemia has been added to Bully Rainbird group chat. Thank you. Why everyone bully me? Other people have nice mods. Oh, I'm abstracting. Oh, I'm really happy with how this looks. And that look cool. I love the eye on the ear. That's my favorite one. Okay. Okay, slowly but surely I'm explaining this. I don't know if anyone cares at this point because we're just having fun, but I'll keep going. Okay. We get the username of the person who did the redeem. That's this Twitch and target info username. That captures the name right here. Mr. Ymir is here. I'm gonna take this phone call and yell at someone. Be right back. No worries, Ymir. You yell to your heart's content. We'll still be here. We'll be chilling. Then we grab their profile picture, and we store that. And you can see here, this is not Ymir's. It's not Ymir's Discord picture. This is actually his Twitch picture. And we increment global question answered by 1. That is the number here. That goes up by 1 each time. And queue position to queue position. This is the number that appears on Audrey's belly over there. It's currently 0. And then Discord basic webhook. This is how StreamerBot and Discord talk to each other. So let me open this up and show you what it looks like. Alright. TTS number, queue position for time and date. TTS queue number for time and date. Exactly the same thing. This is what it looks like when it was outputted. And then we have user, which is in this case Ymir, said raw input. I'm glad he's taking a phone call because he'd make a joke about that as well. Probably a very inappropriate one. I have very naughty mods. And then see clip on Twitch, Twitch link. And then that is the link to the exact point in the VOD. Minus, I think, 1,000 milliseconds or 1,000 seconds just to get it before the actual point where the actual thing is played. Okie dokie. And then in the Twitch chat, thank you for the TTS, and then username, in this case, we'll stick with Ymir since Ymir underscore here is here. Your number, and then it'll tell you your position in the queue. If you're first in the queue or second in the queue or whatever, in the queue. The radio mimic is munching on your message and will spit it out soon. And that's when Audrey over in the corner there starts doing her little jig, which I'll show in a little minute. And this actually puts that number up as well. and then it runs an action called TTS Audrey check. And this is one of 2 actions that will run Audrey check. Audrey check basically makes sure that she is active and dancing around if she has a message in the queue, or she is still and quiet and peaceful and grand there in the corner if she doesn't have any messages in the queue. Let me see if I can switch her to her dancey mode. Actually, I can just put a message in the queue and you can see it for yourself. TTS, and we'll just put in testing. Why does everyone bully me? Sad face. Wait. Sad face. There we go. Okay, that's gone into the queue. And now Audrey is up and active. And it sent out that message to the chat. Thank you for the TTS. Rainbird by Design, you're number 2 in the queue. The radio mimic is munching on your message and will spit it out soon. Just like I said it would work. Because I made sure everything isn't broken. Then we have Audrey check, which is this little bit of code. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. I actually have a Bailey's coffee right now. That's a good hydrate. Oh, and the posture check. Okay, boss. Okay, I guess you're not always bullying me. You take care of me sometimes. Stretch till those wings touch your shoulders, boys. Hey, you better not be talking about shit about me. I'm always talking shit about you, Ymir. Also, excuse your language, sir. How dare you? Okay. Audrey check is a little action that can be called by other actions. All this does really is it gets the number of TTSs in the queue and basically double checks it. In OBS, if the TTS queue is 0, it'll be true, and basically make sure, like, Audrey, be sleepy, don't be awake. And if there is a message in the queue, it double checks and it goes, Audrey, be visible, be active, mimic awake, right here. And mimic EP is hidden. So it just makes sure that Audrey is in the right configuration. And then Audrey hide, which is the second last part of this, is basically just turning on and off the visibility in my overlay. So I can just hide Audrey whenever I want. So if I have TTS turned off, I can just make Audrey disappear with the click of a button. And that is controlled by my little streamer deck, which is virtual streamer deck, and is a whole nother conversation on how I set that up. And then lastly, when I hit numpad 0, which is my hotkey for this, action, queue, pause, state, resume. So it unpauses the queue. Everything in there is unpaused, and everything that was queued up will then play. So all of the Grizzly Bean animation, all the changes to Audrey, that all plays out. It waits 100 milliseconds just to make sure it's completely done. And then it pauses the queue again. And then it will reduce Audrey's number by 1 because, the TTS is played. And it does Audrey check just to make sure again that she is in the current correct status. And I can just play right now. I'm going to hit my hotkey and you'll see all of that play out. So Audrey will count down to 0 and my little grizzly bean beside me will talk.
Rainbird by Design says testing. Why does everyone bully me TT?
TT. Okay, close enough. Close enough. That is how the TTS works. I could go into more granular design or information if anyone wants it, but I kind of just wanted to do an overview. And also, this is like a chill, relax stream, so we're being cool, we're being silly. Doesn't matter if we're too productive tonight. I'm not gonna panic or sweat about it. It's just my second day back. I think what I'll do is I'll get started on Ymir's death counter now. We'll keep it relatively simple. So I want to add a new action. Gonna call it Ymir death counter. And we want to put it into a new group. What's happening there? We want to put it into a new group called death counter. Default queue. Yeah, the default should be fine. Okay, where did it go now? Death counter. Ymir's death counter. Okay, what do we need it to do? We want it to be a hotkey that he can press, and we want it to go up one when he presses the hotkey, and I think we want a reset button. That sounds about right. Should be relatively straightforward. We're going to add core inputs key press, and we're going to make that plus. Can we? Yeah, number pad add, save key. Okay. You might not have been able to see that. Let me move it to the side. Add core command. No, not command. Inputs. Key press. There we go. You can set it up for like any combination of keys as well, like Control plus or Shift plus, and you can set up mouse clicks as well. It's all neat and cool stuff. Okay, next we want to get we want it to get and hold a number, and we want to increment it every time the hotkey is pressed. Where does that live again? Core, globals, global get. We want to call it death count. Destination, same thing. We'll call it death count. Default value is 0. Do we want it persistent? It's really a question for Ymir. We'll put it persistent for now. Okay. And we actually want it to... Yeah, it's a global. It's not for user or redeem. Okay. Then do we want to math it, or do we just want to increment it? Let's get rid of the spam bot though. Where's my actions at? You. Pin. Don't want to pin it. Oh no. Moderation? No? I hate when that happens. I don't have the specific app open, which is this. I didn't have this open, and it only works when you have it open to take in my latest comments, because I have a little button here that just gets rid of spam comments. But when it's live, I really need to learn how. There we go. We just click on the name. Warn. Timeout. Ban. Get out of here. Alright, spammer removed, eliminated, and gone forever. Goodbye, sir. You are not welcome here. Hi. We want to increment that then. Core set, I think. Set to +1. Start at 0, set it, yeah. Global set. Percentage death count percentage, I think. That should work. Oh. DEATHZOUNT. Death count. Increment 1. That should work. Hi. Where'd our music go? It keeps cutting out. That's so... Oh, we actually played it out. Okay. Let's try this one, at the Animal Crossing one. Yeah, that's kind of chill. Okay, you press the button. Number exists, incremented by 1. That should be in persistent global variables under death count. So let's make that happen. Let's hit plus. And see if it comes up. Death count 0. Good. That's our default. And then we press plus and it should go up by 1. I think we have to reopen it every time though. Death count 0. We want you to go up by 1. No, it's not incrementing. Why isn't it incrementing though? Should I not have percentages on it? Or should it have squigglies? It's just gonna take a minute to find... Yeah, there we go. It shouldn't have had squigglies. Now it increments. We increment it live. Good. Nice. Do we want a minus and do we want a reset? Those are both questions for you, Mir. I'm gonna go ahead and make them anyway. I'm going to duplicate it. Death counter minus. Okay, so what we want is to have a... Nope. Minus. Save key. So he doesn't have to fully reset his death counter. If he makes a mistake, he can just take one away from it. We'll make a plus and a minus. Alright. Now we should be able to get death counter to go up and down. Plus, minus. Did I make a mistake there? Death count 1. Death count. Okay. That should work because it's the exact same code. We literally copied and pasted it. 10. Is it because I have numpad subtract? Yeah, that looks right. It's enabled. And it's decrement, which means go down. This is why coding on stream is not the best idea. I don't want to go messing with too many of my number pad numbers because... let's try capturing it again. It's this button, right? Save key, okay. And number pad is on for me because plus works. Don't understand why that won't work. Should be pretty straightforward. Works in the other way. I'm looking at the wrong number, that's why. Or am I? 7, 8. But minus won't make it go down. Maybe if I put in -1 here. Global variables. Death count. It's getting death count. It's getting the same global. It's persistent. Same destination. What if we... That'll just set the value to what's in it. That'll increase it by it, and that should decrease it by it. Bum 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 bum. Well, you know what they say in coding, keep trying the same thing over and over. Don't know why that's not working. This works perfectly. Input. Number pad add, exactly the same as it should be. 1 is plus, 1 is minus. Death count 0, that's exactly the same. Death count increment 1. Where do I have another D increment to check it against? I do actually think our TTS bot, Audrey check. Play should have D increment. Variable D increment 1. Yeah, that's exactly the same. It doesn't work because it's decided not to work. Maybe I should try a different key for it. What's a key I don't use? We'll try Shift G. Just to see if it's the specific key that's causing the problems. No, Shift G isn't doing anything either. I am completely flummoxed. We're getting our global. death count with value of 0. That's perfect. Decrement global. Death count. Decrement by 1. Weird. We'll make the reset anyway. We'll make the reset to 0. Duplicate. And we'll call this one reset. RES reset. Okay. What will make this one? I'm already using the 0 button for my TTS, so I want it to be something else for me. This is why I use a virtual try multiply. That's why I use a virtual deck, so I don't have to use all of my keys for so many things, because I wouldn't be able to keep track of them all. Get the death count, and then set the value to 0. Okay, that should be everything working perfectly. It's not, but it should be. Multiply minus plus. Why is only 1 working for that? It's all spelt the same. Death count. Death count. Death count. Weirdness. Weirdness indeed. Do I need to call it something else, actually? That pulls in Q answers. This is get Q answer, Q answer, Q answer. That's all the same. Maybe I need to turn persistence off. Because why would it need to be? Why would these need to be persistent, actually? Death count. No, only plus is working. I think I do want them all to be persistent, though. I think they want to last multiple streams. Why wouldn't it? Okay. Are they creating a death count somewhere else, though? Maybe that could be the problem. So it's not there. Non-persistent. Twitch link, YouTube link. No. Persistent user, non-persistent user. Don't worry about those. I can't figure that out. As always happens on stream as well, it's a relatively simple thing. So I don't know why. I guess I could just math it out, but I hate doing that when it should be something more straightforward than that. Oh well. Anyway, that was the death counter. I could add input, but this is a lot. I know, I'm sorry. Okay. Let's simplify it a little bit. Let's clear all of this and let me actually, that's a paintbrush. Why? Wait, please. Yeah. Let me explain, Nemia, and you shall understand. We'll get rid of all of this. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Okay. So we are making our little death counter. EOUNTER. Death counter. That doesn't look like death counter, but you know, take my word for it. What we're trying to do, the death counter is for Ymir. Yes, it is. So he is going to play Elden Ring in the near future, I think. And he's basically going to have a death counter on screen. And every time he dies, he can hit a hotkey. So it'll go up by 1. I'm going to put in a... basically, if he hits the minus key, it should go down by 1. And then I'm going to give him a button to reset it as well. That's the plan. So right now what we have and what we have working is we have an integer. Do you know anything about coding, Nemia? Basically, an integer is a little box where your computer stores information. And right now in StreamerBot, we can open up our global variables here, and you can see all of the integers or the little bits of information that my StreamerBot stores. So I have a lot of redeems, like I have a trap redeem if you want to try it. It's I think it's once per stream now. It has like a leaderboard for how many adventurers you manage to trap, because the whole thing is I'm a dungeon boss and this is my dungeon, and we take out adventurers, but it stores like the leaderboard, which is somewhere around here. There we go. Oh, the spike pit, very nice. Got an adventure in the spike pit, so you can get 0 to 6 adventurers, and then up on the top there you can see the leaderboard came up. Ymir is currently at the top with 18 adventurers total across a couple of streams. So, you know, if you want to be our trap champion bean, you are welcome to pop into the stream and redeem anytime. I actually think it's not once per stream, so you can get in a few sneaky ones while he's on the phone, just between you and me, if you have the dungeon keys for it. Yeah, so all of these are just variables or integers that StreamerBot holds onto for me. And they can be persistent, which means every time I stream and I close the stream and I come back the next day and do another stream, they are still here. And then there are non-persistent globals, which means that when I end stream today, these are all wiped back to 0. And when I open up a new stream, it'll create brand new ones, probably with different numbers. Like this is the URL for this specific Twitch, this specific channel, this video, this VOD. This is the specific URL for that. This is the queue position for any new TTSs that come in, because we've had 2, so the next one will get this number 3. Yeah. So you basically have temporary and permanent ones. And we're creating a permanent little box. Let me know if I'm getting too ahead of you. We're just creating a little box to hold a number. No, there's an L. Hold. I'm very dyslexic, by the way. Hold a number. So this just holds a number. It doesn't do anything else. It could be 0, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't care. It's just I'm a little box for holding numbers. Our first action. As for code affinity, I've absorbed some through osmosis, but basically I don't know. Well, that's cool. That's cool. yeah, I'll try to keep it super simple then. So box to hold a number, and we want to create a hotkey. First hotkey that tells that box that whatever is inside of you, add one to it. Add one to it, and that's what increment global death count by 1 means. This bit of code right here. So every time he hits the hotkey, which is currently number pad add, which is the plus button, it tells it to get the death count. That's our little box that holds the number. And it says whatever is in death count, just add one to it. Now, the problem is this action should be very straightforward. We're calling for exactly the same box, the death count box. All of the spelling is the same. I even duplicated it. I basically copied and pasted it, so it should all be the correct names for it. And we want to decrement or decrement, which is the opposite of increment. Decrement means go down. We want to take one away from it. We want to -1. So every time I hit numpad subtract, it should just go down 1. Exactly. Decrement. Decrement. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not. I'm just going to live with whatever I say and be happy with it. And then the last thing we want is when he... I'll use that as an inappropriate scenario and see others roll their eyes at me. Yeah. That's what cool people do. Cool people bring up things no one else understands in a conversation and then talks about it passionately, and then everyone rolls their eyes and doesn't understand. And that's how you know you're super cool. Yeah. Or, you know, autistic or ADHD. One of those. Probably super cool. I think it's super cool, personally. I definitely don't have ADHD or autism or any of those, though. That anyone can prove. It's me. I love using specific words. Oh, yes, me too. I had a lot of struggles because I had a really big vocabulary growing up, and like I thought I had trouble communicating with people, but actually, I was just using words they'd never heard of before. Like I was using the right words in the right places. It's just they had no idea what I was saying. I actually sat in the attic once and read through like an entire set of encyclopedias. Yeah, I haven't told a lot of people that, so you're the first person I've ever told that. Not that I think it's a weird thing to do. I don't think it's a common thing to do, but it was when I was little, though. Where was I? I'm also very easily distracted, as you may have noticed. Okay, so the last part of this is when he hits the numpad multiply, what it should do is it should get our little box that holds our number, should get death count. And then this one, this just says value, so it doesn't say increment or decrement. It just says value. And what that should do is just say, hey, you, number in the box, you're 0 now. It's okay. Thanks for sharing. Also, I have turbo, FYI, so it's okay regarding the ads. Oh, cool. Yeah, the great thing for the ads, though, is I just turned on like the alerts for the streamer and mods. So there's a little banner that comes up that tells me like how long is left. So, you know, I know that my ad alert thingy is essentially working. So ads start in 30 seconds. So in 30 seconds, we should get another message that comes up that says ads are starting now. And then however long that is, you'll get a message that the ads are done. And then I can just be like, hey, Dulcie, I checked that it works. Here, give. Not give, have. Yeah. And she can change the text to whatever she wants then. I'll just be sure that it works. I can show that real quick, because at least I know that works. It's very, very simple code. So Twitch ads, upcoming ad, yes. And then you can set how many minutes before the ads you want the alert to come up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is built into StreamerBot. It's very, like, there's very little you have to do for the action. It's just add Twitch ads, and then there's like ad run, and then there's upcoming ad. So this is upcoming ad, and then it puts out the message ad incoming in percentage minutes. That might be a little confusing. Where you have percentage before and after a word in StreamerBot, that's actually like a little bit of code. That's like, go get the number for something. So this is getting the minutes until the ad. env var? Qu'est-ce que c'est? Pardon? Envar. Oh, environment variables. Sort of. Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be a long way to look. Blah blah blah. It wouldn't be the wrong way to look at it. I think my chat in OBS has paused for a moment because I can see your messages on like the stream display I have, but they're teeny tiny, so it's really hard to read them. But it's not coming up in my chat for some reason, so it might take a second to come through. Server client. Oh, there we go. Never mind, lol. No, I can explain it. Sort of, but Twitch is essentially the server in this case, and it's pulling the data from Twitch directly. So yeah, you're kind of right. It would be a server call. Yeah. So it's pulling the minutes from Twitch rather than doing anything inside StreamerBot. That is the super simple alert for the ad upcoming. Now the ad start, that's also relatively simple, but there's a little bit more to it. So there is built into StreamerBot this trigger for when the ad is running. So when the ad starts, it sends out the message that you can see there, ad starting now, crying face for 120 seconds, and it pulls ad length from Twitch as well. So we don't actually have to know how long the ad is in. It'll just work no matter how long our ads are. We don't have to hard code that or anything. Then it delays for ad length in milliseconds. This is also something we can pull directly from Twitch, the ad length milliseconds and ad length seconds. So it's going to delay, which means it just holds on, it just stalls there for a little bit. And then when this amount of time, ad length in milliseconds, has passed, it'll run the action add end. And then action add end is basically just calling another action to play. Add end, it doesn't even need a trigger because it's being called by another action. And then this is just welcome back from the ads. I hope you didn't get too lost in the inn. I missed you. I think that's very Dulcie core. I think she'll like that. But as I said, she can change it to whatever she wants. Yeah. That's our little ad manager then. I'm probably going to change that to, dungeon, make it a little bit less less dulcy core and more my style for myself, but I wanted to make sure it worked before I handed it off to her. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to be able to figure out the problem with the death counter on stream. I'm probably going to have to spend some time looking up stuff for that. So I'm going to leave that for now. What I can do, though, is I can show you my my Doom background that I've been working on, my Doom overlay. So this has been a big project for me in StreamerBot. That's essentially like, have you seen the can you play Doom on a fridge? Can you play Doom on an oscilloscope? Can you play Doom on a what have you? Microwave? Can you play Doom on a toilet bowl, like the fancy Japanese one? Can you play Doom on that? So my question is, can you play Doom on a streamer? And the answer is kind of yes. So I have all of the OG stats and everything set up, like ammo, armor. I know about the meme in general. Yeah, play Doom on a pregnancy test. Exactly. Yeah, I'll show it to you real quick. Like, I have redeems set up. I'm not going to turn on all of the redeems now, but there. Where's my... There. So there are redeems for armor, health. You can damage the streamer essentially. There is a gun. Yeah, and you can basically reduce the streamer to like 0 HP. You can damage their armor and their health until they're at 0 HP, and then like I don't know, it's up to the streamer. I'd probably be like, you're dead now. But yeah, I'm gonna turn this into a pack so anyone can have it, so they can just download it and copy all the commands into their own streamer bot and copy all of the resources and everything. And yeah, be a Doom streamer. I should probably demonstrate something. Hang on. I think I can test some of the triggers. What's this one? Ammo? Yeah, that works. I'll show you taking damage. And you can see the armor went down there, and the armor keeps going down by random amounts as well. So it took a little while to figure out how to get it to go down by like a random amount instead of like -5 every time or -10 every time. So it does go down by a random amount. It'll go all the way down to 0. The sounds seem to have a bit of reverb. They do, but that is because they had a little bit of reverb in the original game as well, because I pulled them straight from Doom 2. They are the OG sounds. So they're not quite as nice and clear. They kind of have that old PC kind of reverb vibe to them. Let's see, what else can I show you on this one? I'd have to do attack like 10 or 15 more times to get it down to 0 to show you the health damage. There is a game over as well when health reaches 0. Which could be kind of fun, as like if the community kill the streamer has to restart their game, but the community can also give health packs and armor, so there'd be like a back and forth between the chat. I don't have a big enough chat for that myself, because it would just be you and Ymir fighting over probably killing me right now. Please don't kill me. Let me give myself an armor back just to show you the different colors and stuff. Yeah, see, it flashes up with like the original icon. It's kind of a nice green. Yeah. I would heal your would attack here forever. I haven't worked out the math, but I think healing and armor outpace damage by a little bit. Like the combo. Because the damage would just be 1 redeem. But the damage is also a random amount, so it could go either way. And there's timers on all of the redeems as well, so you can't just spam healing or spam damage. Yeah, that's the idea for this anyway. I'm gonna make a pack for it. I think I mentioned on Twitter as well. And I'll probably put it in my Discord. All right, let me get back to it's a cool idea. Well then, thank you very much. I did work pretty hard on it. I put a lot of effort into it, so I think it's looking pretty okay. Can I hide Audrey for a minute? No. Never mind. Audrey gets to stay. So I mentioned no, let me go back to full me. There we go. I think I mentioned maybe while you were still here, Namia, that I have a virtual stream deck. Mostly because I can't afford to buy like a physical stream deck. But I also don't want to set all my keyboard hotkeys as my keyboard buttons as hotkeys because I only have so many, and there's like a million things you can do as a streamer. Like my model has a load of effects, and most of the time I can't use them because I don't have enough hotkeys. So there is a virtual hotkey by essentially the same virtual hotkey. A virtual deck is what I meant to say. There's a virtual deck by the same company that makes StreamerBot, but sometimes it disconnects from like their website to this actual application StreamerBot, which means none of my deck buttons actually work at that point, and it usually happens a little while after I've tried writing a code to restart my WebSockets, but that only seems to work some of the time, and this is not one of them. Yeah. Wait, what time is it? 20, 21, 22. Oh, hydrate. Thank you very much. I still have Bailey's coffee. I put in so much Bailey's. I am staying with my folks at the moment, and essentially every day we've had Bailey's coffee, and Bailey's coffee just makes me so sleepy. I know I'm one of the rare few, but I just get really sleepy when I have coffee. I know people are supposed to get energy from it, but I get sleepy. Especially when it has booze in it. I don't have diagnosed ADHD. I only have a diagnosed learning disorder. You said you don't have ADHD because you have ADHD. Prove it. Prove it. Even though it's probably actually very factually true and would make total sense. Yeah. Given, I think, 3 to 4 symptoms that are ADHD, well, which are? Mostly because I'm curious about it now. Because I might actually be, like, I can't deny that there's a strong possibility. I know I talk a lot and fast sometimes, and I get really excited really easily and really distracted easily. Including by my own model in my wingy ears. Caffeine is a big one. ADHD is basically low dopamine. Oh, so it's like more common for people who have ADHD to be sleepy beans if they have coffee instead of like pepped up and excited. That's really cool. I did not know that. Huh. I'm gonna look that up after. Yeah, it's very highly possible. My mom has undiagnosed ADHD. My niece has confirmed ADHD, and two of my nephews do. So yeah, it's very likely. Also, I have really intense hyperfocus and executive dysfunction, so it's likely. It's pretty likely. Um, I can confirm that I have a really interesting learning disability. That's fun, which is probably tied into ADHD, like dyslexia or dyspraxia. Um, yeah, I think it's less a disorder and more half the world population struggles with the order of things. Lol. Yeah, probably. Yes. So the last time I was in college, um, before my final exam, I actually managed to get like talk to an expert examiner person, and they put me through a whole bunch of tests, and I had to read a whole bunch of documents, things like that. And essentially, I have low input output processing, which is why I have something that seems like dyslexia or dyspraxia, but my brain works too fast as well. So um, it's like I have a really, really, really good computer, but really bad bandwidth. Is like essentially how it was explained to me. Um, not sure what else to do tonight. I'm kind of out of stuff for streamer bot, so I might wrap up very shortly. Not straight away, but in a couple of minutes. We're just that's kind of chill, and it's nice talking to you, Namiya. Um, yeah, I kind of got back after New Year's and the holidays, and I'm still getting into the swing of things. Um, I'm hoping that, like, if I want this to be like a regular stream day, I can get a couple of other streamers to just like hit me up for like things they need. As you can see with Namir's death counter, where I just can't figure out why it doesn't work, even though it very clearly should. Um, that kind of messes me up a little bit stream wise, because I'll probably sit down for like 2 or 3 hours after the stream and figure it out and Google everything. Actually, I don't know why I don't. Why don't we just Google the issue? Streamer dot bot decrement not working, question mark. Linux user? No. Windows. This is Opera GTX, though. If you spotted something that looks like different to usual. Oh, the search box. Yeah. I think Opera is very Linux heavy, isn't it? Like they did a lot of stuff for, like, Opera's the default for its Chrome. But Chrome's Google. Wasn't Opera originally the like the sort of browser that came with Linux? Used to be some other kid. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Incorrect variable usage or a logic error in your action setup. Oh, thanks, Google's AI. It's not working and it must be your fault. That's helpful. No. Not dealing with that. Not being told that. Let's try. Okay, so we're getting the variable. On February 12th, 2013, Opera Software announced their intention to transition from their Presto layout engine to WebKit. Okay. Oh, do you mean like the way all the browsers are Chromium based now? Is WebKit like a separate engine to that? Because I would prefer not to use Chromium, to be honest. I used to work for Google, and nothing makes you not want to. Oh, WebKit is Chromium. Gotcha. That kind of makes sense for them, like in terms of ease, because Chromium does work with everything. But yeah, working for someone working for someone, there's nothing faster than that to make you not want to use their products anymore. I also worked for Blizzard for a while, and that is how I got out of my WoW addiction. Just working for them. It was easy peasy after that. I think Waterfox is the recommended fork. Ah, good to know. You got some techie knowledge there, Namiya. Thank you very much. Thank you very kindly. Maybe we change the destination. Maybe we change this to death number. I just want to see what happens. Death number. And then this is setting the global. Maybe I need an extra step in here. Let me try mathing. Where is Doomstream? You're welcome. I'm building. I'm a budding Luddite, though, lol. Kinda like you were saying, once you experience these things, you back away, and all of tech is making me back away, haha. Not to be a downer. Not a downer at all. You're kind of right in a lot of ways, like there are definitely useful services, but like the cramming of AI into literally everything, especially things where it doesn't make any sense or it doesn't add any utility or any use whatsoever, is like just such a waste of resources, time, coding. I kind of want the bubble to burst on that. And then maybe when things calm down, when it's not the new buzzword, maybe like it can be used for useful things like it was at the start, like, you know, finding cancer, researching renewable resource fuels, you know, those silly unimportant things. Yeah, that's kind of my feeling on it. It is like the .com bubble, though, if you were around for that. As like yeah, at the start of the internet in like the I want to say early 2000s or mid 2000s. It was like the internet's gonna change the world, and it kind of did, but it was like super overhyped for the technology that was available at the time, especially because most people were still on dial-up, and we were like 5 years away from Google existing. We were 10 years away from Amazon taking over like all shopping. Like, and then 2000, I graduated high school in 04. Okay. I think I was in college in 2000s. I'm an old bean. Old bean. Hang on, I need to get a jacket. I'm a little cold. A little cold bean. Actually, we'd probably be around the same generation, because I would have started in the 2000s. Yeah, we're around the same. Yeah. No? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, yeah, we're just gonna try doing math. Where's a math thing I could steal? There. Your math. Yeah, like, yeah, same generation, like within 5 years, probably. I'm just gonna copy the sub action. I'll paste it there. Okay. I probably need to use whole nother number now to make this work. Was it armor that I took this from? Okay, get total armor. Or set total armor, get armor. Total armor to global armor. Okay. That's when you're getting an existing one. Oh, hang on. I think I might have figured out what I'm doing wrong. Maybe we don't need a destination variable or a default value. Is that it? Will that fix it? If this fixes it, no, it didn't fix it, which is bad. But also, if that was all it took to fix it, would have cracked me in some way in my brain. Get death count. Decrement by 1. Am I forgetting to set it? This is set, isn't it? Core. Global. Yeah, it was set. Let's see if we can just force it, though. COUNT. Okay. Minus still has no effect. Does nothing. It does nothing. Okay. Yeah, I kind of given up the ghost. I give up. I will figure out what is or isn't working in this and report back at the same time next week and be like, this is why I'm an idiot. This is why it didn't work. Yeah. So, probably just going to raid out. Raid. Oh, what's in the box? Promo, don't care about that. Oh, yes, an update. I will get it. I will figure it out. I just, it's not something I can really do on stream. I need to shout it. But, it was a good stream. I went through a couple of things. Got to show off my Doom stream thingy to someone, and we made sure the ad thing worked for Miss Dulcet ASMR. How do I raid if they won't give me my raid button? I know I can do /raid, but that means I have to manually find someone. And I want to just be able to click a button and go through a thing. But my raid is blocked out. I wonder if they moved that. Okay, I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. We'll go have a look on Twitch proper, see if any of our friends, our dearly beloved fellow streamers, are online.
Name is loud.
Is Cotton's boobs first thing to come up on stream? Lovely. Does Cass a familiar face, Namia? Be nice to go chill with Cass for a while. I like to wind down. Usually after my coding streams, I think we go to Cassandra Chaos. Oh, a new Twitch user. Really? So Cass is a. I actually found her through Dulcie. I think they're friends, but she is an ASMR streamer. She doesn't actually talk on stream. She's mute, but she's a super fast typer, so she actually like welcomes you in the chat. And she just super nice and chill. And she does body doubling, so she's like working away, and she'll do some triggers as well. So I think I'm gonna see if I can raid Cass, but I have to figure out how to raid without my raid button and figure out how that works. Okay, so we want her name. Copy and paste it. And I think if I go / raid, and then put in her name. And I don't know if it works straight away, so I will say good night now. Namiya, thank you so much for spending the stream with me. On Thursdays at 9 GMT, I do a stream about Dungeons and Dragons, and I have like a super ton of content for that from over the holidays, including a new subclass I made for 5e. And on Mondays, I'm currently streaming. I stream games, but currently I'm doing Dragon Age Origin. So that is my regular schedule. You are super more than welcome to join the Discord as well if you'd like. It is relatively quiet because, you know, all small streamers' Discords are relatively quiet. But yeah, join the Bean Army. Be a bean. And make a grizzly bean because we have a playable race for them if you'd like. Okay, I'm gonna hit that raid button and we'll see what happens. You've been beaned. Welcome, Namiya. Okay, and Ymir, if you're still on the phone, I'm raiding out. I love you very much. Bye. Oh, okay, we get a countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.